Hi everyone, how's it going everybody? In this tutorial we are going to solve another example. The example is write an app to print Fibonacci sequence until a given number. If you know what is this Fibonacci sequence, you can skip this part of tutorial. So, what is a Fibonacci sequence? Fibonacci is a sequence of numbers that each number is the sum of the two preceding ones, starting from 0 and 1. So, 0 plus 1 equals 1. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Okay? 1 plus 2 equals 3. I use these colored arrows to show you better what's happening here. For writing the app, we need to define some loops. In the first loop, yellow loop, A is 0 and B is 1. Result of the sum of A plus B is 1. In the second loop, green loop, A is 1, B is 1, and the result is 2. You can see these other loops and you can use this diagram if you want in the link description below about java.io. I write down for you. But before everything else, I need to mention some other tip around how to swap two variables values. In other languages, we need a temp variable, but in Python, it's so easier. Let me show you what happened in another languages. A temp equal to A equal to B, and B equal to temp. It's how swapping happen in another languages. So the print result will be 3 and 2. Must be 3 and 2. So here is it. But in Python, it's so easier. A and B equal to B and A. Here it is. 3 and 2. Let's go and solve our question. We have to define a function named Fibo. It's a generator function. I use generators because they are more efficient, and the difference between another difference that I didn't mention in last tutorials about yield and return statements. Yield can be everywhere in the generator function, but return must be at the end of the function and break everything else. For example, if you use it here, it's useless. And yield can be here. It's no problem. First of all, for first loop, we have to define these two starting numbers as variables, A equals 0 and B equals 1. Without these numbers, Fibonacci sequence doesn't mean anything. While A is lower than limit, user given number, we yield A. But why we don't yield B, and why we don't say B lower than limit? Let me show you. First, we yield A because A is equal to 0. And here, 0 is in the sequence. We need that. We need the A. But what happens if we change the limitation checker from A to B? And let's print B in each iteration, and also comment it and use different kinds. Make a list from generator object. And let's begin. 22, for example. Here we don't have the 0 and it's wrong. It's B, but it's the list we got. And why it happened? Here is 13. That is wrong. It's not the last item, it's the last item. But we didn't get the 21. 21 is the last item of B. and we entered in the loop with 21 as B, and in that time A was 13 and we yielded the 13. There was no other iterations because in another loops, in the next loop, we got 34 as B and we don't get into the loop anymore. It can be complex and a little hard to understand, but if you have any question, comment your question in the comment box below and I will answer it as soon as possible. Well, our app is complete now and we can check it out. For example, 34, we want to include 34, so we give it 35. 0, 1, 1, 2, and we have 34 and 0 before 35. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please like and share and subscribe. It motivates me to make better tutorials for you. Thank you so much.